Alright, tent assholes. How do you do? The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
Squeeze in.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
He points his thumb at the lieutenant.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
He gestures for you to squeeze in. I don't like how you insinuated that. Oh. Wait, you guys had a... Wait, she could totally fit in here. What the fuck? Why isn't she in here? Smells like sweat and laundry detergent, plus a trace of ether. A pile of nasal sprays. Behind them, Nosafed Ultra. Wild, wild, I want to see. Where's the child I used to be? Canisters filled with what appears to be water. The label says distilled. A speaker, the big kind they use for live music. Oh, shit, that's how you leave. Whoops. Got too interested in inspecting the floor, apparently. I'm going back in.
Go speak to Andre. I'm just annoyed.
I'm just annoyed. What if I want to speak to you first?
I suck at socializing, man. If you go speak to Andre, I'll have time to tune in, get a reading on your side.
Before he's finished talking, he's already turned back to his tools. That's ridiculous.
See, it's already going wrong. Sign is off.
I mean, I guess. Kind of self-enforced prophecy there. The young man picks up a thin metal saw blade and examines it. Scared? Angry? It's hard to say which this man is. Egghead. He looks bald here, but not here. A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Wowshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says,
Hardcore!
Is it?
It's hardcore!
You're just gonna keep saying it's hardcore, aren't you?
Skibadee, skibadanger. I am the rearranger.
What, are we listening to fucking Prodigy? Solve the egghead puzzle? Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think? The young man with the tape recorder acknowledges your return. When he looks at you, he squints as though you were the setting sun.
This is hardcore.
Say nothing.
Hardcore!
Still say nothing.
Hardcore to the mega!
Still say nothing.
Internally coherent.
Still say nothing.
All core! Alright! Yeah!
Still say nothing. He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music and the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah!
He lets out an agonizing roar over the feeblish, obviously not too hardcore beat below. So hardcore.
Is it though?
He stops dead in his tracks, tilting his head to the side. It is!
But is it? I mean, really?
He's tilting his head to the other side, like an owl. I was thinking that too.
I am the mic enforcer. I am the chick's checker. Yeah!
What? This is the bizarreness.
Back to the heavyweight jam.
says the young man with the tape player and the large Bodero boots. Lung-shaped trees sprout on his silver belt buckle.
Hardcore!
Sync signs with the Noid. Noid doesn't want to talk to you. The signs are not in sync. Guess you need to help him and his friend out somehow, prove that you're one of the crew. Who knows what it'll tell you. Solve the egghead puzzle. There has to be some way to talk to this person. You just haven't found it yet. It's definitely not about signs. What if you just try again to find a way out of this maze of things to say? Apparently. Say nothing.
Hardcore! Hardcoreism internally coherent.
I'm wondering if you knew who killed the mercenary hanging behind the whirling and Ragas hostel.
Good morning, yeah! 1, 2, 3, Yeko Kata, the place to be!
But Yeko Kata is a catastrophe zone, a desolate wasteland. It can't be a place to be?
Yeko Kata, the hardcore place!
Uh-huh. An intricate system of irrigation networks pockmarking the earth, intermittent seas of phosphorus mud, ripped tarpaulin fluttering in the wind. A pair of molten rubber boots also comes to mind. All in all, a truly hardcore place. I suppose. I'm gonna talk to the human now. You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair, aggressively so. You get the sense this is what the future will look like. Imbecilic, yes. Should the future ever come, it will look deeply imbecilic, like this guy. Shake his hand? His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with the earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably anodic music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Wait, how many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet. Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in. Also for talent. Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Was there something you wanted? Your friend Estelle said there was a problem with the church.
Ah, so you've met her. Good.
He nods.
Yeah, it's a matter of occupying ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it. Enough histrionics. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended. Dopeheads! Burnouts.
He angrily spits on a screw, then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol. Strike that, the world! And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those. I feel like you might be laying this on a bit thick. What's really so bad about these dope heads and burnouts? They're spooky. What exactly do you mean by spooky? I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I could say is the spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community center and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't heat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that. Thank you, Egghead. He turns to you. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing. I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiates meant their property for. I'll look into it. Tell me more. All right, man. He claps his hands enthusiastically. Andre is obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks. Estelle told me Noid put the padlock on the door. Why? I did ask Noid to install a measure against those more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix. Just something to contain the situation. Does that mean you locked people in there that are dying? I had to do it in a hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while. How long have those people been locked in there? Not long, like a week maybe? What? How can you be sure they haven't starved to death? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on, I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive. Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned that the term involuntary manslaughter there. Andre, do you know what involuntary manslaughter means? Yeah, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives. What does that even mean? I don't know. He pauses to think. What does anything mean, really? Oh, yeah. He looks at his friend with an expression of profound understanding. That sounds like nonsense. You're right, it is nonsense. Total garbage. I know you'd see through it. You're a smart cop. These people are fucking with me. Hopefully there's no one in there. It feels good to be a smart cop, doesn't it? That's a good cop to be. Has a nice ring to it, smart cop. You wouldn't want to be a stupid cop now, would you? But still, maybe he's just sucking up to you. Yes, he is, obviously. You can stop buttering me up now, thank you. Oh, okay. He nods his bleached, spiked head. I won't do that anymore. I need the key. Of course. Noid, give the officer the key. Alright. The speed freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key, then makes a sudden cool infused move, tossing it in your general direction. Be the cool cop, catch the key as it flies towards you. I was like, don't you dare crit fail me again. You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal object in plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches, just the tiniest chime to your left. Catch it. Ka-ching. The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly. Bask in the glory. The young man with the ribcage-shaped suspenders looks at you standing there with a goofy grin on your face. I healed. The word August used as an adjective. That's how cool it feels to be old and cool in the eyes of the young. Let's face it, you're near death, yet bathed in the golden rays of stately grandeur. Like a late summer's day. Like a daddy-o. Right, other questions. Sure, man. Tell me what you want to know, let's do it. Who exactly are these people inside the church? Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. You haven't seen them and you want the police involved? Well, he leans in for emphasis. There's also the machinery. When I first scoured the place, back in February, it was abandoned. Empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to get stuff set up. Suddenly there are all these strange machines lying around in there. One of them has wires running into the bowls of into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it. Andre, tell him about the feeling. Oh, and it felt like there was some thing in there with us, watching us from the dark. No, the other one. Which other one? I'm not as in tune with as my emotions as you are, Egg. Felt like silence. Awful silence. What, you haven't physically seen anyone? Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church a couple of times, and we felt someone or something eyeing us inside, but that's it. That's kind of it. The woman. Red hair, maybe? A lorry woman? Sure, why not? Yeah. But not really. The other one adds. Brown hair, old, heavy, dark sides. So which one is it? What Noid said. So brown and older. Ruby might have dyed her hair, though it seems like a stretch at this point. What was that about? Something watching you? Like you aren't alone, you know? It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean. Not human? As in a ghost? Do you know what he means? It was this dark shape, climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man. A crab man? Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling like a crab. The other one agrees. It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior. Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing walls. Are you sure it was a crab man? Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estella was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there. So he hasn't even been in there lately. Is he afraid? You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab. There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you into this nonsense. Can you tell me more about this machinery? You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dope head sign from them. Probably jacked up on some snuff station too. Probably. Very likely. How can you be so sure that they're burnouts and dope heads if you haven't even seen them? Well, honestly, I can't, but I am. This is a below feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he's attempting to weaponize idiocy. Yes, he doesn't even begin to make sense. Is he just covered in random pink spots, by the way? Wow, you can't, but you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my own repertoire. Hey now, he furrows his brow. I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers. Don't let all that technology fool you. He makes a little quotation mark with his fingers when he says technology. Where do you think drugs come from? Finger quotes with technology. You're the one that told me the technology existed in the first place, and now you're questioning its existence. God damn it. Alright, let's talk about something else. Sure, what? I know Noid has his signs, but what's the deal with Egghead there? He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music by being a master of ceremonies. What's a master of ceremonies? You know, a host. A declaimer of slogans. He's a performer. Gets the people going. Interesting, sire. A bit like you, then. An MC for short. How do you communicate with him? Well, he shrugs. He's just kind of there. I don't really know how to communicate with him. Have you ever really talked to him? Yeah, sometimes when I, stumble and find my way into his center. You have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first, though. The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself. I get it. He's a puzzle. You mentioned some kind of ecclesiates own the church. Who are these ecclesiates? Oh yeah, that's a Meteoran name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it. If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery. Now humor me, Andre. What's the founding party? Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization. And they have roots in ancient mass society. He pauses. And they're the custodians of the Paracanassian Church. Plus they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no? Now, Andre, in your opinion, would this ancient religious organization who anoints the innocents want a club for anodic music in one of their churches? Totally. There isn't a trace of doubt in his voice. The Paracanassian Church is about love. Anodic music is about love. I got love for my Paracanassian posse. Love is the relay of out of death. We dance. He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it. Love is hardcore. Unity. Unity. Make some noise for my Insulindian posse. He turns the volume up, then looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance. I don't quite understand what you're talking about. What's a posse? Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cop posse. You look out for each other and you party together. That's a posse. And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to mind. The world is silent. Oh, formidable failure. EDC, why do you betray me? It sounds like you're just saying random things. Love, posse, make noise. Are we? He looks at you mysteriously. Yeah. The one with the large head really enjoys it when his friend gets mysterious. I guess love can be pretty hardcore. Oh yeah, it can. He's coming around. He nods at his friend, then turns to you with a mischievous grin. You're getting it. No, this is too much. No sane organization would want this level of absurdity in their church. That's pretty downbeat. I think I speak for all of us when I say we expected the law to be more open to the idea of love, unity, and the Paracanassian posse. I don't understand a single thing you're saying. Yeah, he shrugs with melancholy. I know you don't. So you got more questions? The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. His expectation is fierce. I want to ask you about this tent full of equipment. Yes, what? So you brought your own water? Yeah, good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water. And it's distilled, too. Oh? He doesn't know what to say. It's the one they sell at the fuel station. It's like he's lying to you, my liege, but he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of. Hate to tell you, but it reeks of sweat in here. It does, doesn't it? Told you we have a smell problem. He picks up a piece of telephone cord and inspects it. Wait, I also smell ether. Why? Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid? Nope. It's mixed with a peculiar chemical scent like laundry detergent. He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. Unlike the girl outside, however, the boy's breathing is regular, their jaws stay put, and their pupils aren't dilated. So they're not under the influence currently. At least not under the influence of stimulants. That doesn't rule out hallucinogens, benzos, some depressants. How do you know all this? What's with all this nosophed? The what now? He leans in to hear you better. Point to the bottles of nasal spray in the corner. The Nosophed Ultra. You have a lot of it lying around. Sounds like how, was it Sudafed is used in drug brewing? Oh, the old Ultra. He's like an actor looking to the souffleur for his line. I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe. You sound fine to me. Yes, he nods energetically. That's all Nosefed's doing. Without the nose, I'd be drowning in shit right now. Nosefed is the shit. Can I have some? I have some nose problems too. Sure. He picks one up from the corner and hands it to you. Here you go, officer. The Nosa. Blast away. Alright, enough of this. He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved. Logic godly, which is still way easier than impossible, apparently. Maybe everything isn't quite as you've been told. Take a moment to analyze. Estella's high, unexplained ether smell, unexplained Nosefed. Headphones were sold. 42%. Wow, critical success. A number of things don't add up. Take a look. I can't believe I crit succeeded after like multiple crit fails. Like, what is today? Those weren't crit fails, they were 3s, which is technically 1 off from being a 2. How about gather around, kids? Okay, kids, now gather around. The young speed freak puts down his busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned, and their would-be leader is less amused. Sometime in the past, I'm not sure when and where, but betrayal was involved. I fell sick and became the shadow you see now. Before that, I have reason to believe I was a police detective. But you still are. I was good enough in this job to be awarded the rank of Lieutenant Yefreiter. I could have been captain. Imagine that. What happened? Egghead looks serious suddenly. Life tore me a new asshole. I did. I happened to myself. That's a real downer. He shakes his large head. Now, obviously, that might as well have been 1,000 years ago, but there's still some detective left in me. The young speed freak is silent. This isn't the makings of a club. It's a tent full of laboratory equipment for manufacturing drugs. I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers. He points at the speaker. One speaker. They have one speaker. Where's his friend? Did he lose his friend? What do you mean, friend? The other speaker, you only have one. It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker. Pfft. This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic or one-speaker systems. You have no headphones. Wouldn't a cell need her headphones to spin tape? What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing. I know you pawned them, likely for lab equipment and drug ingredients. I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment and no drug ingredients. That Nosefed is here for its active ingredient. He said it was for his nose. What more do you want? Likely pseudoephedrine. Aha! I was right. Almost exactly the shape of ephedrine. Ephedrine makes you happy, and so does pseudoephedrine. The distilled water. Cornerstone of a clean lab. And of all cellular-based life. What's your point, Lawbringer? The ether in the air. A useful solvent. Good for getting acting agent out of a solution. Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, now it's the ether. He smiles nervously. There's no need for me to pile on anymore, is there? No shit. He sounds tired. Your girl Estelle is high as a kite out there. Must have been hard for you boys to keep sober for this meeting. We don't need drugs to be hardcore. Shut the fuck up, Egg. Maybe not today, Egg, but you need drugs to get through the days where you're not expecting me. Climb down from the equestrian monument, cop, man. Talking about his high horse. Haha, but there's a horse monument in this area, which is what's funny. Consciousness is new in the universe. We all have our ways to ease the shock. So does Estelle need more drugs than you? We know she has a problem, man. We're working on it. She didn't exactly have a smooth adolescence. Bottom line is, I know. What exactly it is that you know? He sounds confrontational. In short, you tried to use a police detective to set up a drug lab. That's... He waves his hands. Come on, that's... against the law. I meant to say not true. So what are we gonna do with you? What do you mean, do? There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing. You tell me what's really going on, and we'll work from there. I can be lenient. What do you mean, lenient? Not calling backup and hauling you all off to the pen for starters. Okay, man, okay. He raises his hands. Things are just so hard for an entrepreneur in the city right now. It's not like we lied when we said we want to turn the church into the wickedest club in East Revachol. Because we do, we totally do. We just need to turn it into a speed lab before. To get our foot in the door. And why did you need me? Like I told you, the spooky assholes moved in while I was getting all the stuff together. A month ago the place was empty and now it's all spooked up. They're not really spooky, are they? No, man. They're spooky, alright. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there. But the sign is way off, too. I couldn't feel the love at all. So you promised you'd be lenient. Ask for a bribe. Arrest them. Evict them. Proceed with the club. With no speed. Keep both. I have to look into the spooker situation before I can decide what to do with you. We can continue on an amicable path, right? No more misunderstandings, no more lies. He nods, smiling cautiously. Before you go, is there anything else you need? That's all for now. Be careful in there, officer, and tell us how it goes, yeah? We'll be here. That went in all sorts of directions, didn't it? A mess. What is this guy's mess? Says the young man with the tape player and the large boyadero boots. Lung-shaped trees sprout in his silver belt buckle. We're close?
True, hard, full, car.
How close?
Hardcore.
Is it? But I mean, really.
Yeah.
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his YeaaaaaaGH and AGHs. This produces a guttural Gautwalian accent that makes him sound more animal, more in it. Or perhaps it's not Gautwaldian. Maybe it's Orange Cheese. Probably an homage to Orange Cheese, where Arno van Eyck is from. Judging by his name, could you be listening to an Arno van Eyck creation right now? Is this the famous Van Eyck I'm hearing?
You know about him?
He moves his mouth but sound doesn't come out. His eyes are the size of saucers. Looks like you've rendered him speechless.
You know Van Eyck?
Your friend Estelle mentioned him.
Good, good.
The Advent?
The Advent?
We're close.
How close are we,
True,
though?
hard, full, car. Hardcore. Yeah?
Is it, though? Yeah.
The Y to the E to the A 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 to the G to the H to the hyphen mark.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah!
He missed one A. You missed an A there. I yelled mine was 6 A's. You have to yell it with 6 too.
I'm the hard rhymer, the track attacker, the mic enforcer, the sixth checker. I am the law.
What the fuck is happening today?
We're close.
We're close.
Hard, hardcore to the mega.
All right.
Here comes the night.
Shit.
True.
There's only so many passes that there can be.
Internally coherent.
Internally coherent.
All core. All right. Yeah.
Please tell me exactly what you're doing.
Gotta get the people going.
I see.
Yeah. Request. I want everybody as close to the stage as possible.
What the fuck is happening?
True.
Just a weird nightmare.
Internally all core. All right. Yeah. Hardcore. Ah.
No, but seriously, I'm a little worried it isn't.
The question is, what is the question?
That would have been good if I'd asked you a question, but I didn't. Now it's just idiotic.
But there was a question.
Oh. We're starting to go somewhere though.
Internally, all core. All right. Yeah. Hard. The question is, what is the question?
Just answer the question.
But there was no question.
Son of a bitch. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Full car.
Is it?
It's hardcore.
I don't know what to say to that.
Skibber danger. I am the rearranger.
I'm a crazy person now.
True. Hardcore to the mega.
Oh, right.
Here comes the night.
Nope.
True. Hardcore.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fight is. Yeah.
You missed an A there, but that's okay. I'm a pretty lenient cop.
It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice.
What are we doing?
True. Hardcore to internally coherent.
You know who killed the mercenary?
Good morning, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yekokata, the place to be.
I'm beginning to think this really doesn't have anything to do with the case.
It's the message, so listen and you will see. No illusion. The spirit is what you feel.
Oh, there's so many potential branches. What have I missed? What have I missed at this point? I need to check the boardwalk for bullet traces on the island. Did I not finish checking the boardwalk? That I did. Shit.
True, hard, full, car. It's hardcore.
Skip a danger. I am the rearranger.
Hardcore to the internally coherent. All core, all right. Gotta get the people going.
Why?
I'm the party boy. It's my job.
I think I'm also the party boy.
2 on a track. Watch your back. Watch out for the heart attack.
Dang.
True, hardcore to the mega.
Oh no.
Internally coherent. All core, all. Gotta get the people going. I'm the party boy. It's my job.
What is a party boy?
Hardcore party 25/7 beyond the winter's orbit style.
There's a place far away in Katla, where the certain latitude known as winter's orbit, where there are 25 hours a day. It's a tremendously cold place, abandoned drunks and failed rock stars, full of eternite, depression, and half-finished ski-flying hills. The sewer live there. That's all I got from that. Oh my god. I have no...
Close. True. Hardcore. Internally coherent. All core. All right. Yeah. Hardcore.
So hardcore.
Is it though?
I was just thinking that a moment ago.
One mind. One spirit. There's no other world. There's no other life.
Alright, I'm super done with this. I've officially done that enough. We can go on with our lives. There must be a solution, but I feel like I tried most of them already, right? I don't know, it'd be some on-screen brute forcing. And I'm a little worried because the longer you go, the more time passes when you're in conversations, so I'm actually actively eating the day away the more I screw with that guy in a way that normally doesn't apply.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean.
Can't say. Gotta ask some questions first.
Shoot.
A cold wind blows. She breathes on her hands for warmth. The others told me you went inside the church. What did you see in there? Oh, that. You're not gonna believe me. There's no point in me telling you. He's less prone to blurting out crabman than the others. We'll see. Go ahead and tell me. Okay. She nods. I went in and saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's being raised by their grandmother. You know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression. Didn't say anything, just stood still. Go on. And then, you know, right behind her a man crawled down the wall, upside down like a crab. Down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story. Like a crab, you say? The lieutenant nods. His face is stone. What does this crab man look like? It was too dark. She shakes her head. I couldn't tell exactly. Come on. She obviously could. She already went into detail. Come on, quit stalling on me. What did he look like? He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way. A crab and a banger. Lieutenant raises an eyebrow. Yes, a banger. As an Amesk gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw. You're wrong, I do believe you. She raises a brow. Why? What would you stand to gain? Nothing, she says. Anyway, what else? I'd like to know more about your associates. My associates? She blows on her chilled fingers. I haven't got much to say about them. What do you mean? You must know something about them. Of course I do, I just don't tell people about my friends, and who they are, and so on. I don't provide information on them. To the cops. What about you? Tell me something about yourself. Me? I'm a silver bird. A silver bird. Feels strangely familiar. Was it an expression? And if yes, then for what? Then your mind slips, and the thought is gone. Aha, okay. Maybe ask later about all this stuff. I don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but... Your associates tried to use me to set up a drug lab. I'm guessing you knew of this plan. I did, and I'm sorry. She doesn't appear surprised. For what it's worth, which isn't much. This is why I didn't go into the tent. Lieutenant looks at the ocean, squinting his eyes. Typical delinquency. You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk to Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you. Indeed. She merely tried to admit the truth instead. Instead, you opted to omit the truth. It's the same thing. I know. But I knew you'd see through their plan, too. I'm not an idiot. I should have been able to control them. I will in the future, I promise. May I ask, what did you tell them? That I'm going to decide after I've looked into the church situation. Oh, right. That's wise. She nods. Take your time. That's it for now. Well, this is a hell of a detour, and Kim's probably not entirely pleased with that. But here we are. A strange side detail of this church. And the attempted drug setup. Who knows? All these weird tangents keep turning out to be related to the main quest on a regular basis, so maybe we'll get lucky. I've got 2 points again. That's always good. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle props open. Let's go. The lieutenant nods at you. Pull on the doors. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum. In the heart of the city. Uh-oh. Foreboding? What's gonna be in here? Hopefully not dead people? Whoa! A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. Well, this place is spooky. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. The figure was added later, it's not part of the original church. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. Bark beetles? No. It looks intentional, some long forgotten style. It seems like they might have broken out when they were locked here. Like it was a danger to them? I don't know. The bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. The silence is in this part of the church. It's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. Wait, I think I still hear something. And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Yell as loud as you can. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. Stomp your feet and clap your hands. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total somehow. Turn to Kim. What's happening? The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head, then leans closer. Can you hear anything? Not really, but it's extraordinary. I've never experienced anything like this before. I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics. Maybe the church was designed in this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premise. Seems like a bad plan for whatever they're doing with the band. Or the club, then. Whatever it is, it's definitely real. Something odd is happening around us. The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you. Look up into the bell tower. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead. Oof. Not amazing chance. Try to see beyond the shadows, but only once. I think sometimes red checks like these go away, though. I don't think I... Yeah, because I've missed red checks before. I think this kind of thing might just vanish entirely. Try to see beyond the shadows. Oh my god, I did it. What a cool looking location. This has to be important, right? They make this whole place just as a weird side thing? Or is this actually going to be relevant? Did they... what if the shooter was on top of the church or something? It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and is making its way towards you. Through all the other shadows. Is it the crab man? On the ceiling? Yes. The darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away. It's also very far away. I guess that's why it's a 6-story building, as they were saying. Follow the shadow's movements. It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends. Officer, is there something up there? The lieutenant follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is you're seeing. Oh no! You lost sight of it. Where did it go? Blink. What? Oh, shit. You see something hanging from the rafters that looks a lot like Spider-Man, kind of, right now. Is he naked? Or shirtless? Tiago. You see something hanging from the rafters looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it? What the fuck? Do these wires work as contact microphones? Alright, I'm gonna poke around a little longer. I'll leave him for next episode, because that might be a big thing. There's a lot else to look around here. That's a big what for me. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. A figure drawn in frost on the window, depicting a deer. Mask banger's silk scarf. So we do have a mask banger around here. This huge red scarf is still dusty from lying in the church. A subtle red-on-red embroidery embellishes it with cocky roosters and mask floral motifs. That was a red check, so I could have not found the crab man. But there is some kind of weird crawling man. A cracked pane of glass, colorful. Can I not go up there? Or I can, but from this angle. A spider has spun its web around the wood-carved pillar. I'm respecting the request to not run here as I look around. More mask banger items. Empathy and pain threshold. These dapper snakeskin shoes have an almost invisible white-on-white flower motif sewn on the tongue. The toe caps are still dusty from lying in the church. There's a white-on-white flower motif. Huh. What does this board say? The blackboard's filled with complex equations that look recent. Something to do with radio frequencies? There's a recording here, a bunch of them it seems. 2 decks of reel-to-reel tapes spinning on empty. A portable Harman Wowshi tape recorder. Is it possible it's recording something? Now? Someone's siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna. The antenna, Ream Esker AR1, is buzzing with energy. There's an opening here. What to make of that? A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity. Another radio computer, says the lieutenant, stepping closer. And this time it's already turned on. He seems cautious around the machine. We should leave. I doubt that this place bears any connection to the case. Yes, but this machine looks just like the one in the doomed commercial area. It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model. He inspects the machine's framework, careful not to touch anything. The one you saw earlier was the RAM Civic. This is the RAM Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and RAM-compatible interim printer. The REM Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used REM Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the REM Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits. Wait, let me just investigate this. You see virescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment's wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed. Look inside. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. Print. Nothing happens. Play. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old. Good afternoon. Fortress accident on St. Brune. This is the Eastern Cylindian repeater station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? The same old woman you spoke to through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area. Yvonne, it's me again. How are you? Good, thank you. It's not clear whether she recognized your voice. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? I looked inside the core, but the tape on the filament just says log February to March. Good. Please repeat the password. Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. I don't know the password. Received. I will register this login attempt. Fortress accident, is there anything else I can do for you today? Fortress accident, like the one in the doomed commercial area? I have 2 machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on St. Brune, the other on Rue de Saint Ghislaine. St. Brune. That's the church. Lieutenant gestures around him, and Rue de Saint Ghislaine that's the doomed commercial area. Anything else I can help you with? Thanks, but I'm finished with this call. Press off/silent. Goodbye, Fortress Accident, she says as her voice disappears into a whirl of static. A password, once again. It's the same company again as the one from before. Well, now I'm extra curious. And there's these strange pieces of water. There's a lot odd going on. Let's see what Spider-Man has to say.